After months of planning, our long-awaited self-guided adventure to
Zhangjiajie
had finally begun. We took a 12:30 a.m. flight from Penang and arrived in Chongqing at around 5:30 in the morning. Even though it was an overnight flight, we managed to get a few hours of sleep on board, which helped us prepare for a full day of traveling ahead. After clearing immigration, we immediately booked a DD car and headed straight to Chongqing railway station for our 9:30 a.m. high-speed train to
Zhangjiajie.
Looking back, this turned out to be one of the most efficient travel plans we could have chosen. Instead of wasting an entire day traveling, we were able to sleep on both the plane and the train, arriving in
Zhangjiajie
just in time for lunch and ready to start exploring. If you're planning a similar trip, this is definitely a route worth considering.
However, we quickly discovered something we never expected. Chongqing railway station is absolutely massive, but surprisingly, there were almost no food stalls inside. Thankfully, there was one small 7-Eleven convenience store that came to our rescue. Since we love trying local instant noodles whenever we visit a new country, we decided to make this our very first breakfast in China. It may sound simple, but tasting Chinese instant noodles inside a Chinese convenience store while waiting for our first high-speed train made for a memorable start to our journey. Sometimes it's these small experiences that make traveling so much fun. A few hours later, our high-speed train arrived in
Zhangjiajie,
and we checked into the
Zhangjiajie
Wuling Spring Inn, a beautiful boutique guesthouse located just minutes from the famous 72 Wonders building. The inn is decorated in traditional Xiangxi wooden architecture, giving it a unique local atmosphere that immediately made us feel like we were in Western Hunan. The rooms were spacious, clean, comfortable, and the owners were incredibly friendly and helpful. The location is excellent, especially if you're planning to visit 72 Wonders building at night, making it a perfect choice for travelers who want convenience without spending too much. Guest reviews consistently praise its hospitality, cleanliness, and easy access to major attractions.
After dropping off our luggage, it was finally time for our first authentic meal in China. Just a short walk from the hotel, we found Yala Dam Clear Water Live Fish Restaurant, and what an incredible first impression it made. What impressed us even before the food arrived was the outstanding hospitality. The staff warmly welcomed us and immediately served us something we had never experienced before, a complimentary tasting of their homegrown cucumbers. They proudly told us these cucumbers were freshly picked and could be eaten straight away without any dipping sauce. Curious, we each took a bite, and wow, they were unbelievably crunchy, incredibly juicy, and naturally sweet with none of the bitterness you sometimes get from ordinary cucumbers.
When our dishes finally arrived, we were completely caught by surprise. Not because of the taste, although every dish was absolutely delicious, but because of the portion sizes. Since it was our first meal in China, we had no idea how generous the servings would be, so we ordered several dishes thinking they would be similar to what we were used to back home. Within minutes, our table was completely filled with food, and each plate was big enough to feed several people. Every dish was packed with flavor, cooked to perfection, and tasted incredibly fresh. From the tender fish to the perfectly seasoned vegetables, every bite exceeded our expectations. It was the perfect introduction to authentic Chinese cuisine and taught us an important lesson for the rest of our trip. When dining in China, less is often more because the portions are huge. Looking back, we couldn't have asked for a better first official meal. It was a delicious beginning to our holiday adventure and set the stage for the many unforgettable food experiences that awaited us over the next 2 weeks. Just when we thought the surprises were over, the restaurant owners treated us to one more unforgettable experience. Before we left, they proudly showed us a fruit we had never seen before, peepah fruit, also commonly called the Japanese plum, freshly picked straight from the tree growing beside the restaurant. Smiling, they asked us to pick directly from the tree and encouraged us to eat as many as we liked, completely free of charge. The fruit was sweet, juicy, and wonderfully refreshing, making it the perfect ending to an already fantastic meal. It wasn't just the delicious food that made this place special, it was the genuine warmth and generosity of the people. That heartfelt hospitality gave us an amazing first impression of China and made our very first dining experience even more memorable.
As evening approached, after such a satisfying lunch, we decided to keep dinner simple. We headed to one of the shopping malls in
Zhangjiajie
City to see how the locals spent their evenings and to experience a different side of the city. While exploring the offerings, one restaurant immediately caught our attention. It proudly claimed to have sold over 12 million Chinese burgers. That was more than enough to spark our curiosity. We simply had to find out what made this burger so incredibly popular. Sometimes, the best food experiences aren't found in famous restaurants, but in the everyday meals that millions of locals enjoy. So, we ordered one and were excited to discover whether it truly lived up to the hype. We were pleasantly surprised by just how good it tasted. The Chinese burger had a wonderfully crispy, flaky pastry on the outside, while the filling inside was juicy, flavorful, and perfectly seasoned. Every bite had a satisfying crunch followed by a burst of savory goodness.
Besides ordering the famous Chinese burger, we spotted another dish on the menu that immediately caught our attention: passion fruit noodles. The name made us think it would be some kind of sweet dessert noodle, or perhaps a cold fruit dish. Naturally, our curiosity got the better of us, so we ordered one. When it arrived, we were completely shocked. Instead of a dessert, it was a steaming hot bowl of noodles served in a clay pot. It was nothing like we had imagined, but that's exactly what makes traveling so much fun. You never know what unexpected surprises are waiting for you. Overall, we were genuinely impressed by our simple dinner at the mall. Even though it was a franchise restaurant, the food was surprisingly delicious, freshly prepared, and offered excellent value for money. From the crispy Chinese burger to the unexpectedly tasty Claypot passion fruit noodles, every dish exceeded our expectations. It reminded us that in China, you don't always need to visit expensive or famous restaurants to enjoy great food. Sometimes, the everyday eateries where locals dine can offer some of the best flavors at very reasonable prices. It was the perfect way to end another wonderful day of exploring the city before our adventure continued.
Finally, it was time for the highlight of our first day in
Zhangjiajie.
We had purposely planned to spend our first night in the city so that we could experience the spectacular
72街
after dark. During the daytime, the buildings are already impressive with their traditional Tujia and Miao-inspired architecture, but when night falls, the entire complex transforms into a breathtaking sea of lights. Thousands of colorful lanterns and dazzling LED illuminations light up the towering structure, creating a magical scene that has become one of
张家界
most iconic night attractions. Visitors from all over China come here specifically to witness this incredible display, take stunning photographs, and soak in the lively atmosphere filled with local performances, food stalls, and entertainment. This is one of the biggest advantages of traveling independently. We weren't restricted by a tour schedule and could visit at the perfect time to enjoy the 72 Wonders building in all its illuminated glory. It was the perfect ending to an unforgettable first day in China.
Here's a little travel tip if you're planning to visit.
72骑楼
To capture the best panoramic view of the entire building, don't stay right in front of the entrance. Instead, walk across to the opposite side of the main road. From there, you'll be rewarded with an unobstructed view of the magnificent illuminated complex, allowing you to capture the full beauty of the 72 Wonders building glowing against the night sky. It's the perfect spot for photos and videos, and definitely the angle you won't want to miss. What really surprised us was the number of professional freelance photographers waiting around the scenic area. They offered to capture stunning, professionally edited photos for just 10 renminbi per shot, which we thought was incredibly affordable. After seeing some of their amazing sample photos, we simply couldn't resist. We hired one of them to capture this special moment, and it turned out to be one of the best souvenirs from our first day in
张家界
Sometimes, spending just a little extra can create memories that last a lifetime.
That's the end of our day one. If you've enjoyed following our journey so far, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Tomorrow, we go even deeper into the wonders of this incredible place.